It begins in the woods with four children watching a man kill two others. The knight, Sir Thomas Langley, is bleeding and desperate, but calm. He buries a letter and gives a copy to young Merthin, telling him to keep it safe. None of the children, Merthin, his proud brother Ralph, clever Carys, or dirt poor Gwenda, know the meaning of what they've seen. But it will define the rest of their lives. Years pass. Kingsbridge is ruled, as always, by the priory, wealthy, powerful, and blind to its own decay. The monks build nothing new. They fear progress, silence ideas, and manipulate power. Brother Godwin, cold and ambitious, becomes prior after outmaneuvering more generous candidates. He believes the world must remain as it is, that men like him, celibate, robed, certain, should always rule. Meanwhile, Carys wants to be a physician, something women aren't allowed to become. Her mother dies giving birth, and Carys blames the superstition and incompetence of the midwives. She wants science, reason, answers, not charms and prayer. Her ambition puts her in conflict with the church, with tradition, and later with Godwin himself. Merthin apprentices as a builder. He's talented, creative, and imaginative, but his master, Elfric, is petty and jealous. Merthin falls in love with Carys, really in love, the kind where their differences are part of the electricity. She challenges him, excites him, and frustrates him. But when Carys is accused of murdering Sister Mare for her outspoken ideas, she sees no escape but to join the nunnery. It saves her life and tears them apart. Ralph, meanwhile, grows up cruel and ambitious. He wants land, titles, recognition, and will kill for it. He joins Earl Roland's army and rises quickly through war. His methods are brutal, his conscience non-existent. Where Merthin builds, Ralph destroys. Gwenda, sold by her father for a cow, escapes the man who bought her and returns to Kingsbridge. Her whole life is survival. She steals food, hides in shadows, and fends off men. But she loves one person, Wulfric. Wulfric is honest, kind, and loyal, exactly the kind of man who gets crushed by the system. When his father and brother die in an accident, the corrupt lord, Earl Roland, steals his land, leaving Wulfric and Gwenda destitute. Carys flourishes in the convent despite hating the constraints. She revolutionizes medical care, forming a hospital within the nunnery. She reads medical texts, learns anatomy, studies symptoms. With help from Maddie Wise and later Mother Cecilia, she develops procedures that actually work: sterilization, hand washing, isolation. These methods challenge the monks' primitive beliefs and earn her enemies. Godwin, now prior, can't stand her success. Her competence makes his superstitions look weak. When the plague arrives, it exposes him completely. He hides, flees, and lets his own mother die alone. Carys, by contrast, organizes, treats, heals. The people see who the true leader is. Even Mother Cecilia, once Carys's enemy, becomes her ally. The plague kills half the town. The second wave is worse. Families vanish. Entire farms are abandoned. The priory is decimated. But the social order cracks too. Peasants realize they're needed. Wages rise. Guilds gain power. The church bleeds influence. And Carys's hospital becomes Kingsbridge's new heart. Merthin, having gone to Florence to work on cathedrals, returns. He's changed. More confident, world-worn, still in love. He's had lovers, designed great towers, and earned the respect of noblemen. When he sees Carys again, he doesn't beg, he waits. They rebuild their relationship, not with fantasy, but maturity. They finally marry, choosing each other with their eyes wide open. Ralph becomes a nobleman. The king grants him Wigley. He returns to Kingsbridge with land, a title, and a festering need for domination. He rapes Gwenda when Wulfric is away, and from that assault, Sam is born. Gwenda tells no one, not even Sam, not Wulfric. She raises the boy with quiet rage, determined that he'll never become like his real father. Lady Philippa, Ralph's wife, suffers silently. She's married to a violent man, powerless to stop his cruelty. She endures humiliation after humiliation, but Philippa is watching. She's biding her time. The town changes. Karis becomes alderwoman. She leads the city through economic recovery, builds alliances with the guilds, and oversees new public works. Murthen redesigns the collapsed bridge and adds a new bell tower to the cathedral, a symbol that Kingsbridge is not dying, but evolving. Philemon, Godwin's slimy cousin, tries to step into the power vacuum left after Godwin's death. He uses lies and fraud to climb the religious ladder, blackmails townspeople, and aligns with Bishop Richard, Ralph's brother. But the town has changed. Philemon's schemes begin to fail. Even Mother Cecilia, who once gave him the benefit of the doubt, sees through him. Maddie Wise, Kingsbridge's wise woman, dies from the plague, but not before passing her knowledge to Karis. Maddie's death is symbolic, one generation of female wisdom making way for the next. Karis becomes both healer and reformer, turning traditional superstition into something closer to medicine. The town finally sees justice when Ralph is arrested for killing a man in cold blood, but he's saved by his title and the king's favor. Even in disgrace, he slithers free until fate catches up. Sam, now a man, serves under Ralph in the army. He's proud, bold, and unaware that the man commanding him is his father. When he finds out, it nearly breaks him, but he doesn't become Ralph. He becomes stronger. Ralph tries to rape again. This time, Gwenda is ready. She stabs him, kills him. It's not a moment of triumph. It's a quiet, final act of defense, of motherhood, of justice, of survival. No one mourns Ralph. Elfric, who once tormented Murthen, dies insignificant. He's forgotten, swallowed by time and irrelevance. His sons can't even afford decent coffins. The letter, the one given to Murthen as a boy, is finally used. It proves that Sir Thomas Langley, the knight they saw, knew of a conspiracy. Queen Isabella and Bishop Richard murdered King Edward II. The letter is political dynamite. When Karis and Murthen are in danger of being excommunicated and their property seized, the letter saves them. It buries their enemies and secures their future. Kingsbridge is no longer ruled by monks. The guilds run the town. Women are in leadership. Healers are respected. The town has rebuilt itself, brick by brick, on reason, labor, and courage. Sam grows up honorable. Wulfric never learns the truth of his parentage, and doesn't need to. He raised Sam with love and discipline. Sam chooses to see Wulfric as his father. Blood be damned. Karis and Murthen live on. Not perfect, not saints, but respected, remembered, and finally at peace. And Gwenda, scrappy, poor, abused, ignored, ends up with something more powerful than land or titles. She earns a quiet, stable life. She protects her family. She endures. And long after the town settles, when the church bells ring and the bridge stands tall, one truth echoes across Kingsbridge. Some build towers, some change medicine, some never let the truth slip, even when it burns. But the ones who last, they love without needing to be seen. They survive without asking permission. And they leave behind a world just a little more just than the one they found. That is the kind of world that lives on.